in and out. I just, would rather you know that. But besides those flags, our race is about to begin in a few seconds here, and here we go. So Nightcrawler is the only one rocking a custom sprite at the moment, and I believe it's the same one that he's always used. From what is it again?
It's Crystallis.
Crystallis, yeah. I always keep thinking it's some Dragon Age or Dragon Warrior thing or something.
Trails and RCS popping very briefly into Death Mountain. It's always worth peeking, seeing if the rock's available.
I also forgot to mention Schmitty does have a custom sprite technically, but only when he crouches.
And don't forget when he's right.
Or if he's like crouch dancing. Yep, thanks, Lufia.
So my stream did freeze up briefly there, had to refresh, but I'm back.
We have a pretty normal night thus far, and a normal map. Rock path that goes to a dead end, a death mountain early, where dipping may not even, be necessary. Especially this early. This is way early for a death mountain dip. Lufia, no, I didn't technically. The only thing that I've done, I gave him the knowledge of the D-bag sprite idea. As soon as I said it in the Z2R Event Central Discord, is the moment that he decided, I need to do this. And then he did it.
Maybe picking up a hand.
So wait, was that hammer in regular Death Mountain Cave, or what cave was that?
Looked like Heart Container Cave to me.
Oh.
I do seem to be having some connection problems because my stream is running very my mic.
Your microphone is also lagging out for everyone listening as well. I will try to bear with it and make sure everyone can try to understand you while I translate robot voice. Right? You should speak in more robot. It's better this way. You have Nightcrawler also grabbing that same hammer, and it looks like it is a Heart Container Cave. Well, I mean, Fang, at least Duster doesn't sound like one of those tech support callers. And Trail's also picking up that hammer that's in that Heart Container Cave. I think the only one that doesn't have it is RCS. Although that hammer doesn't particularly go to anything useful at the moment, so I don't know. Maybe it may not even be used at all. I still remember, speaking of robocalls, completely off topic, RCS just picked up the hammer. I had a tech support caller call me during one of the weeklies here on Speed Gaming. Actually, it was on 3. And I still remember to this day, I muted my mic for straight 10 minutes to mess with him. Ah, I love those guys. Does anybody in chat love those guys? They're amazing to deal with, right? Yeah, I believe I dealt with that. It was like 3 months ago. Back, like, shortly after I had my surgery. I didn't say anything in chat, though. Speaking of surgeries, I believe Trails had a surgery recently. I don't know what happened to him, but he's back now, so hopefully he's doing better. Heck yeah, I love to give him a hard time. I get healthcare scammers. I think phone scammers in general are just terrible. Man, I wish I had the same kind of tech supports our tracker has. Jesus. Then again, I have like 300 megabyte download speed. Psst, I don't need this much.
Alright, let's see how this is treating us.
You sound a lot better. Not more robo.
Alright, now if I just don't breathe on my laptop, it should keep signal then.
So we don't got much progress going on, it's more exploration at the moment. They're pretty much looking to be all on the same screens, just about. The only exception to this would be Trails, and I'm not sure why he's entering this area.
Yeah, that does not look like a fun medicine cave.
I mean, no candle, 3 hearts, and attack 2.
But he does have the Thunder spell, puts that to good use.
That is the magic key for Trails, and he's going to up an A and get out of there. So one of my staff members is actually currently in the chat channel. And interestingly enough, they wanted to joke expose me because I do translations for comics in different languages. And most of these comics, let's just say, they're not safe for work, but completely irrelevant to this. You know, can you not? I mean, it pays well to be able to write in other languages and translate, right?
Sure does. Been working on for some time now.
Yes, Speed Guy Ray, yes. And yes, you did. It's mostly Chinese and Japanese and some German.
So Schmitty picks up his magic key. Nightcrawler about to get his if he survives. Wisely.
You know, Duster, one day I ought to consider just doing an entire speed gaming commentary, but do it in Spanish while the other person does it in English. Would that throw everyone off?
Not at all, I'm sure. So this is an interesting Palace one. It's got a Palace 2's bricks and palette from Vanilla. Like, to the point where I just assumed it was 2 until I saw.
I didn't see the entrance to the Palace RCS entered. Is this 4 or is this 2?
It's 1.
1 had Moas? Oh, right. Enemy swaps from Trails Seed. I forgot.
Nightcrawler just hanging out in a void momentarily.
He's in lag hell. He'll be fine there.
Sure that Moblin spear in his face isn't causing any discomfort.
Just lodge there infinitely with a 1000 sign, you know. He's doing 100.
So RCS finding the item in 1, the trophy. Trails right behind him.
Trails picking up that trophy out of, I'm guessing, is P. It was P1, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't know why it's using those thin tiles for the tile set for 1. That's just kind of weird.
It's always.
It's usually P2.
But yeah, vanilla P2. That's the really confusing thing, as I was saying, because it's got P2's vanilla palette too. So I'm just gonna assume Death Mountain servers are extra laggy, and that's why we're having problems with Nightcrawler. So there we see the other side of the rock, the mountains behind the rock anyway, because the rock's always so useful.
So, Duster, in your opinion, what is the hardest seed set you could possibly load out with this game, other than no hit?
Call, because I mean the generic answer is just, you know, I guess I don't know, so I don't.
I mean, I'm just
Low
asking
starting
because
health, low max health.
I mean, for the most part, every time you've rolled a seed for like a weekly challenge, they've always been awful. Even to my taste, they're just bad.
Or that's the seed, not the flag. I'm just bad at rolling. Okay, Rose City Saint coming across Rose City. Also a potential guest commentary on my end. Trails takes out Sarah Jessica Parker.
Excuse me?
You know, Sarah Jessica Parker, Horsehead. RCS finds Trophy Cave.
There is many things wrong with that sentence. That is just awful. To both you and Alan, come on.
And just a magic jar in Trophy Cave. Well, everything was beautiful about Hocus Pocus. It was funny, I was actually watching that last Halloween, and it occurred to me, you know, the movie was released in '93, so you have to assume their
RCS just
car
grabbed
was a
the boots.
'93 Ford Explorer. What's funny is, at that moment, I was driving a '92 Ford Explorer. Mine was older than that movie.
How? Yeah, as I was saying, RCS now has the boots. You now have water travel for only one person. How sad.
Well, Boots and Hammer means you may want to go hop into Death Mountain.
And Flute. Oh my god, he's got an early lead. Trail's also picking up that same Flute.
I do seem to be a little bit behind, not too surprising with my lag issues, so refreshing my stream.
Well, don't feel bad. I have 300 megabyte download speed, and somehow Freako is faster than me. By like 4 whole seconds. I don't even know how.
Alright, Nightcrawler gets his boot.
Trails and Nightcrawler just got it at the same time. That was actually pretty cool.
Wow, that's weird. I wasn't even looking at Trail.
No, they literally went the same path, even going out. Up and left.
Not all three, but 3 players all in the same cave. For just a heart container. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my heart containers. I could be life 8 and full health and still get murdered all the time, even with free shield. These guys seem to strive just a little higher. So Rose City Sane about to turn in his trophy for the fairy spell. So early Thunder, early Fairy, early Boots, early Hammer. This could be quite a thing. And he finds Hammer Cave. At the same time as Trails, it looks like.
You know, I'm a little disappointed because all 4 restreamers are, they're kind of following one another just about to a letter. I like it when there's like 4 different, all 4 runners are in completely different spots. Here they're like side by side on the same screen, all the way through.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, might as well just be watching one of them. Get the whole results just from that.
RCS and Trails coming to that same P50 bag.
So now they're going to go on and look for Alcatraz. And Nightcrawler finally diving into one.
You know, speaking of the D-bag sprite, I just got a great idea. Why not change that D to just a 90, so that way people can call it a P90? Link picking up a P90. I'm giving you guys
That already
ideas.
happened in Breath of the Wild.
I don't think Link picks up a P90, does he? Quite a lot to unload.
I mean, he does get a motorcycle.
Granted, I dislike Breath of the Wild. I've never played it and don't want to. But, I don't know. I'm probably the only major Zelda gamer that just doesn't like Breath of the Wild.
Well, I have no opinion on it, so I guess I can say that I don't like it. I just don't dislike it either, since I have no idea.
I just don't like it because of the fact that, you know, it's not the standard system anymore. Like, oh, break some grass and, you know, you get some hearts. No, your method of healing is now cooking food. It's just like, no, this is not a survival game.
Yeah, I could see. I'm yet.
It's the first game that broke the Zelda formula. Just look at it like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The first. What? Oh, that's heartbreaking. You know, 500 points and he can't get it. Even though it's probably not.
Yeah, Pap, I know Faces of Evil broke it. I'm saying, like, in terms of 3D Zeldas, I'm used to everything, like, kill an enemy or cut grass, you get a heart, or break a pot, you get a heart, or rupee. That game came along, and then that threw everything out. Zelda 2 broke the NES formula we were used to overheads. This was just them testing out if they liked the idea of side-scrolling, which wasn't a bad concept. Granted, I also like the fact that you don't just get health from any item drops in this game. You have to literally manage magic for life. Really just makes the game that much harder.
Yeah, as much of a black sheep as this is, you know, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I can't really think of anything about this game that I specifically dislike.
I wouldn't mind playing a Zelda 2 in 3D, like an actual adventure mode type thing, kind of like with Ocarina of Time's engine. I would try that.
I don't know, I'm having a hard time picturing it, but I'd probably be down.
Yeah, Paper, that was my major complaint about it. It just didn't feel right. Crafting food, the weapons breaking. I mean, they were trying to be realistic about it, and that's not what I, loved Zelda for. Zelda's supposed to be this thing where it's fantasy and not almost realism. I think when they started doing Breath of the Wild's like mapping, it was almost like Elder Scrolls, and I guess they got the concept idea, hey, let's make everything hyper-realistic now that we can see mountains 5 million miles away. Almost Skyrim-esque, and I just didn't like it. Also, the fact that you could walk out of the first cave and go right to Ganon right at the beginning in 4 or 5 minutes. Basically beat the game.
And Trail's taking on Barba.
Didn't fall in the lava that time. I think that's the first time I've seen anyone die on Barba and not get lava dunked.
Meanwhile, Rose City Saint's scooping up a bunch of water in his hat for that guy. For the shield spell. Hope Link's sweat water was worth it. And we got Nightcrawler finishing up Palace 1.
Well, getting them boots led to pretty much nothing on the water tile for RCS, just a life doll. So it seems boots and hammer lead to nothing.
Oh, if you've nothing. So what palace is Schmitty in? I was thinking 6, but that's not right. Two, based off of the window style. Nightcrawler finding his 6. Yeah, I guess it is 2.
They're pretty mean too.
Yeah, that's a painful death there to take. Doing the angry dance there, and I don't blame.
RCS picking up that medicine and leaving.
So he's already found both Maze Island items. Making some real quick progress. And he hops on. I'm starting to think that that's going to be the troll of this, is the glove's going to be just hidden really horribly.
RCS knew immediately he was glove blocked.
So let's start taking bets on where the glove is. I'm going to say it's in hidden Kasuto, hidden, behind the River Devil somewhere. Maybe a
I'm gonna
cave or
say
two.
P3. It's either in P3 or P4, and he just left P4. I would go back in there.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go back in there. I mean, yeah, there's the chance for the glove there. But at the same time, if you can avoid double dipping it and come back with the reflect spell, you're going to want to do that. Nightcrawler takes down Helmet Head. Or Bonehead, as I used to call him.
And Trails got the candle that was over in New Kasuto. I believe that's New Kasuto, right?
Correct. Yeah, he's going to go see the spell item, which is where I was saying glove is, which it's not going to be as fun if it is there.
I bet it's not. This seed's gonna be a horrible one. You're gonna have to double dip P4, P3. We're gonna be here for some time.
Did Rose not even pick up the candle? Did he just go in there, hang his head all dejectedly, and leave?
Pretty much. Let's just say that he has it, okay? He found it, he didn't want it. So Nightcrawler has found one of the Maze Island drops. The other one is medicine, and he's yet to find that one. Meanwhile, Trails is exhausting every possibility to where Glove could be if it's on the overworld. I'm thinking it's in P4 or P3. He's gonna have to dip one of them.
Yeah, between those, I'd probably go into 4 first. Quick refill on his lives, and he moves on as well. picking up his magic container and medicine here very short.
And he's gonna realize that that palace on Maze Island is glove blocked. You're right, that glove's gonna be the troll of this whole thing. RCS found the cross? Where was that? When did he pick up the cross?
I completely missed that as well. I guess he did pick up the candle. He must have just cut out right as he picked it up, because it looked like he just stood there and turned around on my end.
I mean, knowing RCS, it'd probably just see it and go the other direction and just not even pick it up to save 3 seconds.
So River Devil on patrol as usual. So at least the Great Palace is conveniently located. Just hop that raft tile and walk down the river, and there it is. That'll be a relief after they spend an hour and a half looking for the glove. Voice just cast thunder on the lag. So he's gonna go hop into 5, which has to be on Valley of Death now. Or maybe I'm just horribly mistaken.
Trails has to know that he needs to go on P4. There's no other option. He's trying everything in his brain to just avoid going to it. And that is a very useless River Devil at the end of that path.
RCS diving into 5. And he is definitely looking for that glove first thing of all, because he's taking the left. And there's the item. And it is not the glove, so I believe that means it has to be in 4.
This is, not a nice seed.
I just wish I had been in time to roll it. Oh, that room sucks, that Rose City Saints. Both heads and an iron knuckle on the bridge. Nightcrawler trying to claim the old Chisudo spell, but does not have the required magic container. But the trails did Death Valley there. Has he already
Alright.
popped in to see it was 5?
Ah, man, that was just some horrible news to get. Nightcrawler finding the child, and what I'm guessing is that Hammer Cave? I'm sorry, I just came back. I got a really bad phone call.
I don't know where Nightcrawler is, and I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully everything can turn out okay.
Well, co-worker's living, and just hit by a car, and now I'm working 5 hours earlier. Meaning I'm probably, as I said, I'm probably gonna dip out of here, unfortunately, shortly. I'll see how long I can go, but knowing that I gotta get up earlier now is not helpful.
Yeah, I'm no stranger to being called into work for a wide variety of reasons. Main reason I've been out for, what, like 3 months?
Your driver not being able to do their job right, or whatever, orders not being filled out right, pizza joint going to crazy. Fun time, really.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm actually short 4 drivers right now on account of broken down vehicle.
Ow.
So Schmitty's gonna be getting bad news about 3 here in a moment. Dip out anyway. And Rose has been in 5 for kind of a lengthy amount of time. It should be getting real close to Boss Guma.
This is gonna be one of those trolls you see that's gonna last for maybe 2 hours straight, probably. If that's the case, I'll probably dip out of here in 15 minutes. So I'll stick around as long as I can, but knowing that I gotta get up in the morning at 4 in the morning to go in just now just ain't fun.
I hear the...
Ugh. You know, I'm really hoping that they find the glove in the next 15 minutes. Because if not, I'm gonna feel really bad for leaving you mid-commentary.
Hey, no worries, life happens.
Are Trails and RCS both in the same palace right now? I can't tell because the coloration.
Yeah, they're both in 5, and Schmitty's about to be in 5. And he joins them in there now. So, slight deviation in paths, but they're all going to wind up in the same. So, what's going through your head at this point? You know, you've checked everywhere. You're pretty sure you know the glove has to be in 3 or 4 at this point. And you're wondering, hey, did anyone else happen to go through there? Am I falling behind?
At this point, if I were any of the runners, I would just risk the double dip.
Yeah, by the time they got to 4, I probably would have risked the double dip in there, just playing the numbers, so to speak. But then again, I'm pretty terrible at this, which is why I stick to commentary. RCS finally taking down Guma. So my guess would be he's going to make a beeline for 4 now.
It's much harder to ferry feet from the left side than it is on the right.
That's what I've heard, but I usually have better success doing it that way.
Really? That whole screen wrap glitch is just a mess to me.
It's funny, I've gotten to the point where I can do that probably, I don't know, 75% of the time from the left, maybe 50 from the right. But I still can't screen wrap in Zelda 1 worth a damn. You know, like crossing that river north and then west from Vanilla 1. I'm better off just looking through the seed for the whole the ladder wherever it may be. I'll get across the river faster that way.
I've never tried a Zelda 1 Rhino yet. I'm pretty sure I would enjoy the heck out of it. Sadly enough, we still have no glove sighting, and it's been 50 minutes of the race.
Yeah, we've still got Schmitty and Trails in 5. Looks like it was not a very fun 5 to begin with. And got all that pressure of gotta go, because I'm behind, because everyone else has the gloves except for me. But Rose City Saint hopping into 4 with a nice raspberry sherbet palette. Now I'm hungry.
Does he have Reflect?
I did not see.
You know, I wonder if Reflect came from the child. Or are spells not swapped?
No, spells are definitely swapped.
He just got it in
first dead
Nukusuda,
end.
apparently. So he apparently has it.
Trail's just absolutely going to town on Guma.
You know, I'm more amazed. Look at his progress right now. And the fact that he doesn't have glove is probably a lot of pressure. Did he even get the item out of there?
Yeah, he did. And RCS finally picking 4. So that means he is in go mode. But can he make up enough ground to cover for what Trails has already done?
So I was right when I said gloves were in P4 all this time.
I'm just disappointed it didn't actually require a double dip. Come on, game. If you're gonna troll, go hog wild with.
I think it's a counter troll to not have to double dip.
And Rose City Sit takes down Kara up top.
Well, Trails knows that he can't do 3 because it's called blocked. And he knows the next other palace that he's got left on his tracker is 4. So there'd be no reason for him to not go to 4 right now.
You know, since it was technically kind of open, just overlooked by everyone, you really got to be feeling the pressure now. Wondering, did everyone else get the glove right away? Are we about to have a dot done already? So yeah, definitely looking so far like between Trails and RCS, this will come down to what happens in Great Palette. Story of the Randomizer.
This seems all good and fun. This race looks like it'll wrap itself up in probably, 25 minutes? Not even.
Depending on what Great Palace throws at him, sounds about right.
And depending on how fast Nightcrawler and Schmitty can finish, because they're a bit behind. I'm saying at least 40 minutes behind. Schmitty probably the furthest, because he doesn't have almost anything. Doesn't have glove or child. Well, lads, I'm going to dip out of here because emergency calls for tomorrow. Gynex, thank you for doing the tracking, and Duster, thanks for doing comm with me. Our tracker will... She stated she wanted to do comms, so you can unmute yourself now. I'm just going to go, and you can replace me. How does that sound?
Sounds good. I'm not quite as well versed at this, but we'll make it work, right?
I mean, there's only 20-30 minutes. The only thing you really need to know is Eon Drop. Eon Drop's a troll. Just ask Duster how many times somebody has lost a race because they decided, I'm not taking it.
Yep, I still absolutely stand by it. Always take Eon Drop and always go left at Ferry.
Left at Ferry. I've read that one.
Yeah, that gigantic lava pit room in GP. You need to do ferry to get across it. Always go left.
Actually,
If it's the other one, oh, you're referring to that one, the one that heals you. Yeah, go left.
Trail's grabbing his glove and is now in go mode, right behind RCS. He does have the advantage of Palace 6 being done, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem for RCS.
Yeah, they're easily within just a couple minutes of each other. Even if he is ahead, if anyone can close this gap, it's Rose City.
Oh, for sure.
Well, since I normally end with a joke, I'll just end with one right now. Shoutouts to Snipple. No, I'm not doing that.
Oh,
And we have Palace 4 down.
Hopefully things turn out okay for you.
Seems like Palace 5 was our troll palace for this seed.
Oh, right, you are. That one was really rough. And granted, 5's always rough, at least for me. That one was particularly icky.
Rose City Saint taking down a Rebanak as Trails is heading off back to Maze Island. Looks like we still have Nightcrawler in Palace 5, which I don't know. It seemed like it took a little while for him to get to Barba as well. So that might be, although Rose City Saint is a little bit more equipped to kind of head through that palace a little faster, I think.
Oh, absolutely agree.
Magic 6 and a low cost for Thunder, that's definitely going to make it a little bit nicer.
And Life 7 with, I'm guessing, max 5 heart containers. First.
Looks like Schmitty might be frozen on my end.
Yeah, he's frozen for me too.
Okay.
I think he might be taking a break because his timer's still ticking.
Yeah, that's how I was looking. I was like, okay, timer's going, but he's not. All right, just needed a rest. That's all. Trails continuing on with Palace 3, trying to find Rebanak as Rose City Saint is on his way to Barba.
If I remember right, he's pretty damn close now. And Trail's entering 3, which will be his last palace, and then quick raft hop and us teleport over to G. Not necessarily in that order.
Oh, and it looks like Nightcrawler has finally made it to Goomba. Goomba. Put this terrible palace behind him.
Yeah, I will say, as bad as 5 usually is, that death blow on Guma almost makes it worth it.
Definitely.
I completely agree with Gantetsu in chat. It's always fun to see a practical use for Thunder.
Schmitty grabbing his child, which we know is required.
Yeah, at this point, I think all 4 of our on-stream runners have pieced all the puzzle pieces together. Just gotta go through the motions.
Yeah, it looks like Trails is placing his last crystal, so it's up to the Great Palace for him. So at this point, it is his race to lose.
Again, RCS isn't that far behind, and anything can happen in the Great Palace. That's why they call it the Great Equalizer.
Oh, definitely. I've seen some trolley palaces, and then I've seen some 4-room Great Palaces, which is shocking, but I'm sure very, very rare. And at 1:04 on the dot, Trails enters the Great Palace, which is a very pretty magenta.
Yes, that is quite a satisfying color. I still want my raspberry sherbet, though.
Did Trails not pick up Upstab?
I don't know. I don't remember seeing him, obviously, but
I don't believe he did, and I've seen that cost a couple runners the race in the Great Palace. I do believe Rose got his.
yeah, Rose definitely got his. I don't know. Now that you mention it, I'm starting to really think Trails didn't. So we'll see.
I don't remember seeing him do it, but I'm tracking 4 at one time, so I mean it's very plausible that I missed it, but I don't think I did. I don't think he got it. Nightcrawler turning in his child and getting his reflect as Schmitty's grabbing fire.
A little bit unfortunate of a death. These theater rooms are not fun ones to die in.
Yeah, Schmitty definitely grabbed his upstab there, so he's going to have a little bit easier time going through. Uh-oh. Was that the upstab room?
Upstab.
Uh-oh.
So Schmitty just seeing if the barrier was fake this time. It's very much real.
That would be pretty interesting if it wasn't.
So Rose City Saints about a minute and a half, if that, from finishing Palace. Nightcrawler will be momentarily. And of course, by 3, I did mean 6.
Yeah, he unfortunately still has 3 to go after this. And just like that, Barba goes down, and it's off to Rebanak. For Rose City Saint, Nightcrawler about to grab his glove in Palace 4. Schmitty taking a walk, checking out some caves.
Trail's on his way to go get his upstab.
He's getting upstabbed. That's given Rose City Saint some time to catch up.
Yeah, this absolutely could be a case of that cost him. Because even under worse circumstances, Palace 3 is still only 14 rooms long.
Not sure what Rose City Saint is doing back in the town. And Schmitty turning in his child to get reflect. Oh, maybe it's a life. Oh, it's jump. Okay. Nightcrawler grabbing his glove. Now he is in go mode. Schmitty using the spell to get his heart container.
Yes, but can he spell the spell? Spell?
It's almost painful to say. Oh no, it looks like Nightcrawler is having connection issues again. There he goes. Okay. Moving now.
A little bit of a slideshow there, but looks like he's back.
Schmitty finding Hammer Cave. Unfortunately, just going to get a P-bag for his efforts here. Nightcrawler taking down Palace 4 and Karok.
Does Trails seem lost, or is he actually making a beeline to Darunian?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on with Trails right now.
That's an unfortunate death there. I think he's definitely feeling that pressure.
Yeah, that's a shame. He was doing so well, and for something silly like upstab being required, costing all these precious minutes. Oh,
Yeah,
I think he lost the
looks very
town.
much It makes for a good race when that happens, but it's always unfortunate to see someone lose over something like that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Looks like Nightcrawler and Rose City Saint doing a little bit of a high five, hanging out in Palace 3 together. Nightcrawler still has Palace 6 to finish off, as Schmitty is in 3 or 2. I'm not sure which
I
palace.
believe that's 2.
His colors are a little bit different than the other players were, so I'm not quite sure on that.
Yeah, it's all been grape and apple flavored, so I kind of blend them all together. But yes, that is definitely 2.
And now Trails is officially in go mode, as he's just picked up his upstab, and back to the Great Palace he will head, as Rose City Saint is hot on his heels, finishing Palace 3.
So Trails does have a little bit of an exploration advantage.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That's definitely a big advantage for the Great Palace. There's so many rooms that it's easy to get stuck in a loop.
And RCS picking up the item, probably hoping for an extra container.
Yeah, I'm surprised he would go to dig out the item this close to go mode.
I mean, if you come across it and it is a container, especially a magic container at this point, that gives you one extra spell or a cast of thunder. That could really play into your favor. But yeah, not something I'd go set out looking for.
Yeah, definitely. That thunder has been so useful already in this scene. I don't blame him at all. And it is a helmet head fight for Schmitty Games, as he's taking him to school and finishing his ballast too.
So Trail's back where he was, so it didn't cost him entirely too much time.
No, but here's Rose City Saint on Rebanek.
And there's still plenty of palace left. Because I do want to remind that it is not a shortened one. It is a full palace. I don't remember the exact count, but I want to say it's like 58 rooms of just pure paint. Maybe more.
That is painful. Nightcrawler seemed to find Rebanek a little bit faster than RCS did this time around, and blink and you miss it. Rebanek is down for Nightcrawler, off to Palace 6 for him, as Schmitty is in Palace 3, I believe.
That's 6 he's in.
No, I was just going to correct myself. Oh my goodness, he's in 6.
Again, they're all grape and apple flavored. It doesn't make a difference. During GP at 1:15 and some second. So 11 minutes behind, I believe, was it?
Yeah, just about. Well, Trails did leave and come back. And I didn't start the timer again.
Yeah, this does a real good job of showing colors per player.
Oh, there's Thunderbird for Trails.
Well, Thunderbird is required this seed, so he's on the right track.
Nightcrawler heading into Palace 6 as well.
And Trail's masterfully handling Thunderbird there.
Yeah, that was definitely a really nice fight. Oh, Dark Link right after.
I gotta say, I'm actually a little disappointed in this GP. I was hoping.
Yeah, that is a very interesting GP, knowing what it could be. And we know Rose City Saint is on the right track to finding Thunderbird and finishing this seed. Get your GGs in chat for Trails 420, who finishes in first place both on Restream and in the SRL with a time of 1 hour 17 minutes. Schmitty seemed to find Barba a lot faster than the other runners.
Yeah,
which is
he
good
did.
for him, making up some time. He needs to beeline to Palace 4 so he can grab his glove.
So we have Trails joining us in the channel chat.
Yeah, you definitely dove that Palace pretty fast and had it done very early. It seemed to be one of the more trollier palaces. 5 was definitely gross. But yeah, you did great. GG's.
And glove and 4 is never a good. So yeah, let's everyone give Trails a follow. There's some real good runs of this game.
And there's Thunderbird for Rose City Saint. I think he's going to be a little surprised to go right and walk right into Dark Link.
Seems to be taking his time, just leisurely fighting him. Wonder if he feels confident. Maybe he doesn't check the chat until he's done.
Yeah, when I first saw you go into that one room where you have to break the blocks, I actually said to my fellow co-commentator Duster here, did he grab up stab? I don't remember seeing him do it. Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. And then it felt like you might have lost the town for a couple minutes, which had us really worried. But you got right back, on the horse and finished in first place. And with that, our second place winner, Rose City Saint, with a time of 1 hour 20 minutes. And he is also second place in the SRL. We've had no other finishers yet, which is pretty exciting. trying to get some audio on, which it doesn't seem to be working. There we go. A little bit of a delay there. And Schmitty Games grabbing his glove. Now, which is interesting because Schmitty does have 3 and 4. But Palace 6 was kind of long, and Schmitty already has that finished.
Yeah, the question is, did they both grab up stab? Clearly Nightcrawler.
Yeah, Nightcrawler for sure did. I'm not sure about Schmitty.
So one thing that stands out and still bugs me to this day, you know, I was saying earlier, I can't think of anything about this I don't like, but I just realized. So after you defeat Dark Link, the palette goes back to vanilla, and that just bugs me to no end.
I never paid attention to that. That's interesting.
I don't remember what had made me notice that, but I don't know, that just gets my blood pressure raising every time I Yeah, and you know what else really Family Guy references.
Always makes the stream a lot more fun.
Yes, True Blue. It is the Crystallis guy.
Another fantastic game.
And maybe not appropriate, but a shameless self-plug. I will be doing a Crystallis Randomizer run here real shortly on my channel.
Very interesting. I knew they had a randomizer. I had seen it, but I've never had a chance to try it. It's been ages since I played the vanilla game.
Alright, Nightcrawler coming up on Barb.
Wow, some jackhammer action, and Barba is down. Wow, Nightcrawler on 878. He's going to be heading off to the Dark Palace, the Great Palace here. As Schmitty is placing his 5th gem in Palace 4 off to Palace 3, and then he will also be entering the Great Palace. Yeah, RCS, it was crazy how short that Great Palace was, especially since it wasn't shortened. Yeah, it feels like Thunderbird and Darkling kind of gave up. After Palace 6 and Palace 5, I feel like it was the game just apologizing for how trolly those two and where the glove was. Simultaneous Palace entrances on KC and Schmitty's stream. Yeah, so Casey definitely has that upstab, so he's going to be all right. Not 100% sure that Schmitty picked it up, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching as he does his jumping and spazzing around, and I have not seen him do an upstab down.
Yeah, he definitely has downstab, but I'm not sure about up.
I will give him credit, though. He has made up some good time.
I'm not seeing him upstab when he's doing jumps, so it's kind of making me think he might not have it.
Nightcrawler barely making it out of that room by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, and being greeted by some chicken and waffles, which is never fun. Wow. One hit. He does have attack 8, so at least he has that going for him. And with Magic 7, he can use Thunder a couple times. Yeah, definitely a very linear Great Palace. As Schmitty gets to Rebenak, I believe this is. Yeah.
And off topic, but something too cute to not share. Baby.
And Nightcrawler finding Thunderbird. Yeah, I heard a little giggle and then it went dead, unfortunately. Thunderbird is down for Nightcrawler as Schmitty Games is heading to the Great Palace. No, he has upstab. It's okay. Doesn't
And
have jump, so he's
Nightcrawler
gonna have to be
finishing
careful.
1 hour, 30 minutes, 33 seconds. Official SRL time.
Also, our third place finisher, both in Restream and in SRL, which is pretty neat.
I mean, it looks to me like we only have one off-stream runner, and that's Ryan.
Oh, for some reason I thought we had 8 players. Interesting.
I could be entirely wrong. I'm not paying attention to much of anything.
I actually think you're right.
Well, thank you, Trails, for the run. GG again. Awesome run. And we'll see you next.
Fortunately, we don't have any audio for Schmitty Games, so it's going to be a little quiet here for a second.
Okay, we'll just fill in. Pow, stab. Blah.
Yeah, I would not be opposed to you humming if you would like to. You can go ahead and hum the songs.
I think I'll spare the viewers that torn.
How's it going, guys and gals?
Ooh, Nightcrawler has joined us in the booth. GG's.
Oh, thank you, thank you. That was a rude reflect spell.
We were more concerned about the glove, which was in a really gross
Yeah.
location as well. But you guys all seem to get through it pretty quickly and have a pretty linear Great Palace there at the end.
Yeah, the GP, I had a pretty good GP, so I was pretty happy about it. I'm assuming Trails went into P4 before checking literally everything else.
Trails
I
did
think I checked
P6 the first 5 minutes of the scene. He
Oh,
just
wow.
went in and started taking out palaces. He was full blown beast mode.
Yeah, I placed all the gems, and I full cleared the whole west, and I sailed east at the 30-minute mark.
Oh, so 6 was actually doable without fairy, or you get fairy actually. Without the glove? Yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah, if you just went down, you couldn't go right without the ferry, so you went left, and then you took one drop, and you couldn't take the first drop because it was the ferry hole, so you had to take the second room drop. And then when you went right, it was I believe it was the Riku player room, and then Barbo the next room to the right.
Yeah, that's a pretty good gamble, man.
Yeah, I think you dipping Palace 6 early actually saved you a lot of time because you didn't have those things. And so the other players kind of went in with the assumption that they needed to use them. So it kind of took them a little longer to find Barba than it did you.
Yeah, Barba was a pain. Like, that P6 was painful. I guess without the glove, it directed you to Barba a lot faster.
Yeah, it directed you right straight to Barba. Unless you took some other weird path. I entered GP without upstab at like the hour 5-minute mark, and then I had to leave, and then I couldn't remember where Darunia was, and I'm like running around in circles. I did a lap and a half around the eastern continent looking for Darunia. I would have probably, if I would have grabbed upstab, I would have probably finished at the 107 mark.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Oh, did you get upstab blocked?
Yeah, you were forced into an upstab block. I even tried to go left to see if I could get around it, but it took you to a windy dead end.
What was Darunia? Was it jump or something?
I didn't get the spell from Darunia. I think from looking at your tracker, it was the fire spell. I think was either jump was Nukasudo or jump was Naburu. I think it was Naburu. Yeah, Nukasudo was reflect, that's right, because it was the very last spell that I got. Naburu had.
I was pretty glad when I forgot to go pick up the Rudo spell, and I just went east without it. And then I found the medicine pretty shortly thereafter at a good spot to up an A, so I was like, well, this will save me a little time at least. Although the Mito spell kind of sucked, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is. It might have been fire. It might have been. Was that jump?
I think it was something it might have
That's-
Sure,
that's-
Mito was
I think you're right. I think Rudo was the fairy spell, and Mito was jump because I remember sailing back west and being pretty upset with myself when I turned it in.
Yeah. Well, it was a fun seat at least.
It was. I thought it was pretty free. Like I didn't get the item out of 6, and I didn't get the item out of 2. I didn't have the fairy when I first did 2, so I had no idea that I thought maybe 2 might have had the glove. I don't know, because there was the glove block, and then there was that room that you with the crumble block, and I didn't know if the item was just glove blocked or what. But did you get the item out of P2 or P6?
Out of P2, yes, I did. Out of P6, no.
What was the item?
P2, it was something pretty bad. It
I almost
might have
went
been
back.
like a P bag or something. I know one of them was a P bag, and I was kind of mad. No, I think it was a heart or something.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a magic container.
I know 5 was a magic container, and that got me the spell out of Nukasudo, so I was actually pretty happy to find the item in 5. But the item in 5 was totally free.
Yeah, I was very happy to find that item as well. I was still looking for the glove, and when I found that, I was like, well, it's either this, the kid, or the 8th magic container. So, where was the kid? I saw you had that.
It was in one of the caves, I think.
Sunken. It was
Yeah.
sunken.
I think you just went south right from the dock, and you found the kid pretty much right away.
I was looking for Risen. I found Sunken. I thought that Sunken was a P bag or a Harkin.
I think one was the kid, the sunken one, and the risen one I think was a cross. Is that right?
No, the cross was on the desert tile.
Right. I ended up getting the candle somewhere.
How did you end up getting the How did you end up getting the Yeah, I think that the candle was either on Maze Island or the water tile or something. I forget. How did you guys end up getting to that little segmented area that had the other P-bag cave? Because I felt like I looked through all the caves. I couldn't find the way down there. I didn't go through them all, but
Oh, water tile was water tile was a 1-up.
Both of the caves were actually kind of close to each other.
Yeah, and
Section
actually
of the eastern continent was unnecessary.
the whole eastern continent I think was linked. You didn't need to take any pass-throughs or do anything special. It was just a pain in the butt. Yeah, it was a pain in the butt to do the whole round, but you could do it, I think. Well, I guess you would need the boots, but you should have had those by then, probably.
yeah, I definitely had the boots.
Well, Child was in the east, and that was required for Reflect, so there at least was one required-ish item.
Yeah.
Yeah, the child was for the fire spell I saw when Nightcrawler paused his screen. New Kasudo had a reflect.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and for that you needed 7 magic containers. That was the tough part about that. I'm sorry if I had some technical difficulties. My router died yesterday. They sent me a new one, and I think it's not a very good router, or something's happening. So I got to figure it out.
That sucks, man.
Yeah. Do what you can do. So Schmitty, what did you think of this seat here?
I don't know. I did everything wrong again. Race, I every choice I made didn't pan out till the end.
Did either of you guys do Death Mountain?
Yeah, I did Death Mountain twice.
Get that 50-point P bag at Hammer Cave?
At least I did 5 minutes finding Hammer Cave, but yeah, I went back there looking for the glove and it was not there.
Yeah, I did it all at once after I got the after I found Spectacle Rock. I said, "Hey, why don't I just poke around a little bit?" And sure enough, I searched the southern coast area and I found the cave really fast. So I did it, and I was like really upset with myself when I found the P bag. I was like, "Man, this wasn't a good play at all. Like, I hope everybody does."
Well, I did, but I came back like an hour later when all I had left was Death Mountain and the palaces. So,
I think I felt pretty good in this for the first, I don't know, 40 minutes or so. And then after that, it was just like, where's that glove? Again, where's the reflect spell?
That's
when
how
I
these.
dug 6 and got nowhere, I knew I was pretty much out of the race at that point. It was that was my bad call of the run, mostly.
That's how these finals work. A lot of times they'll give you the magical key in the glove right there out in the open, and then you're running around the whole sea trying to find the 8th magic container so you can cast a fairy spell or something. If it's not a spell, it's the glove. If it's not a glove, it's a spell. It's both sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, Western Continent was very generous, and then Eastern was holding out on us.
Yeah, I felt like I don't know. I felt like it was a pretty good seed.
Kind of cut out there, buddy.
I said I felt like it was a pretty nice seed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I had a lot of fun, and I mean, even 90 minutes, I don't know. I feel pretty good about that in a seed like this with full GP and all that stuff. And GP, I don't know. I had a good GP, but it wasn't a gimme GP. I mean, it was pretty much linear to Thunderbird, but there were some challenging screens at least.
You guys know the rules. Rose City Saint and I couldn't win this week, so I think Nightcrawler, you were the closest to first place. So I think you get choice on flags this week or next.
Why is it that you guys can't win?
Because we won the past 2 weeks. He won the week before. I won the week before that. He chose the one week. I chose finals this week. Now I think it's somebody else's turn. I'm pretty sure it's you because you came.
Well, in that case, I don't know. I'll try to come up with something interesting. I like the idea of a low heart container run, but
Hey man, pick whatever you want. I love running the game regardless.
for sure. All right. Well, yeah, I'll come up with something fun. Hopefully, something that people actually want to run.
Could always do a
right.
Tom Brady's.
And with that, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up for the night. GG's to all of our runners, and a special thanks here at Speed Gaming for everybody tuning in. I apologize for being the kind of fill-in commentator. I don't know quite as much as everyone else, but I really appreciate chat helping me out. And it was always fun and always a pleasure. Gentlemen, you all did wonderful. And thanks again for allowing us to restream you.
Hey, thank you for everything, and I'm sure you did a great job as well.
Yeah, you did awesome. And just a reminder to chat to give all our runners and staff a follow. And we'll see you next.
Indeed.